real solid then today. Give you his position on the Lake Speed car. We're going to go back to the front for just a moment. And still spilling out and back at 36 is the car of Jimmy Spencer. What a Dick Berg leads leaders.
Well, some interesting stuff going on here in terms of the Hoosier tires and the teams that are running it, Ken. We've interrupted a radio conversation in which Leo Jackson just radioed to his driver, Harry Gant, that Jeff Bodine would like to slow down a little bit, and maybe Harry ought to lift some laps. There has been remarkable cooperation here this weekend among the Hoosier teams. Bob Newton, who owns the company, said this is his best shot to win a Winston Cup race. So Jeff Bodine has been telling people what they ought to run for springs and shocks and all the rest of it. Look at this. We should get 2 Hoosier cars hooked right up front. But I'll tell you what, don't count Goodyear out yet. There have been 60 races in 1994. Goodyear has won 16 of them. So this thing ain't over yet.
Dale Earnhardt, 18 6/10 of a second from going a lap down to cars numbers 7 and 33. That with 91 laps complete. But the smoke continues to come up a little stronger out of car number 33. We'll have more on that story when we return.
Hey, race fans, Budweiser asks, who won? November 17, 1985 at Riverside International Raceway. His victory here in a 21-month drought. All the top finishers left for at least some of the 190 laps in this nearly 3-hour-long race. Terry Labonte and his Chevrolet number 44 won the pole, and he used it to good advantage throughout the drama. He went 311 miles, but Labonte got no concession from any other driver. Here's season point leader Darrell Waltrip being at the head of the pack. Waltrip and Labonte ran side by side through time, and then Ricky Rudd, the 5th car, took lead. And you certainly want to forget Dale Earnhardt. Not only did he take on Labonte, but also Harry Gant. But who won? Here's the list of contenders. The winner when we return. If you chose Ricky Rudd, you're right. Here's how the event unfolded. Bill Elliott had won 11 for Speedway races this year, but he was out of the running early. A bolt sheared from his transmission in the 6th lap. The lead changed hands 15 times at Riverside. Even though winner Terry Labonte was out running 5 of those 15 times, he couldn't hold on when a patient Ricky Rudd made his move on lap 96. Rudd held on for the remaining 24 laps, beating Labonte by less than half a second to take a checkered flag. Who Won is brought to you by Budweiser, the King of beers. For that crisp, cold taste, nothing beats Bud.
Working 86 lap, they'll complete 215 miles, and they come by this time as you watch Jeff Bodine in first and Harry Gant, number 33, for the first time in the past few laps, backing up a bit. He's dropped back about 10 car lengths as you see them put a lap on Brett Bodine. Here's number 33 showing a lot of smoke out of the back of that car. Let's go to Dick Berggren for more on the story.
And last car on what's going on. Leo Jackson, what's all this for the trim in the back of your car?
Well, you know, I really don't know. I would speculate probably a valve cover gasket or maybe a no change seal.
Well, they're ready to fix both of those if necessary in the next pit stop.
And that should be coming very soon, Dots.
And I'd say in about 8 to 10, we'll have to get some stops. Some of them are beginning now.
Brett Bodine just coming on to pit road. Another story that will be covering is UAW GM Teamwork of Excellence Award. UAW and GM will award some $5,000 to the race team who exhibits the most work into today's event. The winner of today's will be eligible for the $50,000 year-end prize. And we're right back to another green flag pit-off series. Brett Bodine, the first man in with that car number 26. They're running 17th. Talking about Lake Speed a bit ago. He is in 27th position on the race. Didn't give you that. Wanted to catch you up on where Lake was running. He is in 27th. Average speed for racing is at 143.7. The all-time 500-mile record is a 144. That was the late Alan Kowicki in 1992. On board with Jeff Bodine as he's putting a lap on John Andretti. Just mowing them down.
Mowing them down. Like I said, they're getting that compact patch down. You got, I believe, 6 cars right now in the top 10.
Jeff Bodine, what can you do specifically to help your fuel mileage here in this 500?
There's a lot you can do. Like, gearing is probably the biggest thing. Run overdrives. You can run it in overdrive, save fuel. You don't turn the engine as the RPM. You don't use as much fuel. But you also have to work on the engine, camshaft, the right cam. That's very efficient. Maybe not as much power as you want, but it's more efficient because, yeah, you look at the stats of this race. I think more races have been won here by fuel mileage than any other way.
Let's talk about that with Barry Dotson for a moment. What would you do to get your car more fuel efficient as you watch Jeff Gordon on this pit stop?
It's like Jeff was saying, you'd put on gear, you stay on the gas, off the gas, you're out of gravity over the gas pedal. That's a lot of, Darrell does a lot of finesse. You have to be a good smooth driver. And if you'll notice, the cars that get the worst gas mileage normally, Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, and the Earth.
They're the one. All right. That's everybody gets point there. You're watching as car number 24 comes back on track. He was in 25th position when Jeff Gordon pulled into the pits. And remember that he had gone a lap down. At the present time, we have 15 cars in the lead lap. 15 only. Bodine gets Sachs. He's going to take a look down through the field and these nap bandits. And look at car number 33. Gant moving back in another time on car number 7, Jeff Bodine.
This is amazing. And I tell you the sad part, they're going to pit for gas. They don't need tires. And if this thing goes green, they put 4 more tires on. They're about 8 seconds right now from lapping Dale Earnhardt.
Very close to putting Dale Earnhardt a lap down. What a day for Bodine and Gant. And Harry Gant may be smoking a little out there, but that car doesn't seem to miss a beat.
It was probably like we said, a valve curve. It could be a petrol problem. The problem you got here, that problem cropped up for you. That probably holds about 15, 16 quarts of oil.
So,
prediction, if he makes it, it's going to be close. I hope he does.
43, Wally Dallenbach in 19th position is pulled onto pit road. Burt Rotten is Joe Rotten, number 8, Terry Bondi, number 5, and Ernie Irvin is on pit road, the 28 car. There you see Ernie in that Haviland Texaco machine. There's the rest of the field, and you see the Wally Dallenbach cars there as well.
And a loose tire.
Here's Randy.
Well, the Ernie Irvin car is in. They decided to take about half a wedge out for Thunderbird. They're waiting for Rusty Wallace's arrival on pit road. Already on the right side tire on Ernie's car. Lefts are going on. They'll make sure they get every ounce of fuel in that car. 2.5 on that pit stop. Good.
Good pit stop indeed. Getting him back out. The Ernie Irvin crew. Comments Rickman, Mastin, Rusty Wallace was on. Kyle Petty.
Hood coming up on the 42.
Riding with Stu Wallace. His Barry. Remember, he's running in 6 at the present time, and Randy's there.
No radio communication so far as to what they were doing. Last time in, Rusty dropped a pound of air pressure in the right front. 1 pound, 2 pounds in right. There was no communication as to what chassis change time. This time, rights are already done. Todd Parrott and the crew working. Down and away. Wow, they are fast.
Here's Harry Gant scooting down to the inside. That's first place, Gant. Bodine to second. See if Bodine's getting ready to pit this time by. Wallace is getting hooked in the Heilig Mars number 90. There seems Greg Sachs, number 77, has run in third. He comes on to pit road, and the car number 6 comes in as well, Martin Fuel. Randy is there waiting on car number 6.
Steve Neal and the crew waiting for Mark's arrival. The car was fluttering last lap. They said, get the ether, because they were concerned. Now, I talked about Jack Roush and Loudon, said they're working diligently at gas because they run out here at Pocono, especially going to the front stretch. You could be in deep trouble trying to get around. Right side tires already on. Steve Neal, the crew chief, works on the left front to get everything off in. They do. He's gone.
Nice pit stop. Mark Martin out in 19. Nemechek also on pit road now. Hutch Strickland back in another time. Mike Wallace is his car in, and here's Greg Sachs, and they're holding him.
Oh man, it hurts.
Must have been too fast. That's on pit road. That does hurt. 65-mile-an-hour limit on pit road today, and exceeding that was Sachs. That's number 77. That one does not hurt. 92 laps when this pit stop action takes place. 230 miles into the running. Mueller Genuine Draft 500 from Pocono, Pennsylvania. A live TBS today as Ted Spackett gets back with the program. Harry Gant stays out there. Rolls away from the field. Get these pictures from the advance off so far. Aerial form and more after these messages.
The Fleur New Draft 500 is brought to you by Advanced Parts and by Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Promotional fees should consideration have been paid by Advanced Auto Parts, home of PDQ. Parts delivered quick. By Exide for great starts every day. Replace your old battery. Our Exide battery available at Montgomery Wood stores. And by Finger Cut, values direct to you. Welcome back to Pocono International Raceway, nearing the halfway point today, and Harry Gant being shown in the lead, although pit stops are going on. I want to tell you about the official directory of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing. It's the complete guide for you at home as you watch our events on television. It leaves all the track directories, full listings of the car, driver, team sponsors, places for you to keep score, lots of information about the tracks and the teams. A great way to keep track of all the information you need here as you follow the Winston Cup. Toll-free numbers, you can get up-to-minute race information, all by picking this up. It's only $19.95, and there's a toll-free number. Call to order 1-800-RACE-345. 1-800-RACE-345. Get the official director of the Winston Cup Series.
Well, thank you very much, Rick Engine, and here's your leader. Have those pit stops, completing lap number 9, 240 miles this time, and it's Jeff Dine back in front with Harry Gant second, Mark third, Rick Nast is fourth, Rusty Wallace is in 5th position. After all that pit activity we saw, you're riding with Jeff Bodine, even an Exide battery car. And let's, as we watch him tooling around the racetrack, check in with Randy down in the pits as to what happened in that green flag pit stop situation.
Well, Jeff Bonine's crew stuck a half around a wedge in. They're trying to tighten them just a tick. They put 4 new Hoosiers, stood up with gas, and I did inspect the right rear, guys, and there were a couple of blisters on the right rear of the Hoosier, just very fine, very faint, very small, but I'd say for them they were there. So we'll just see how it plays out for the day. Berger.
Down at the other end of pit road, Harry Gant was trying to stretch his mileage. He won here 1990 on fuel mileage. He wanted to go as many laps beyond Jeff Bodine as he possibly could. The crew encouraged to go further. Gant said, no, I'm running out of gas. He brought it in, and the engine sounds like it was out of gas when he got here. They got the thing fired up, and off he went. His tires look fine, but I also saw a couple full of blistered Hoosiers. Cope blistered right rear, and Loy Allen had a blistered right rear Hoosier as well.
So there's the story on some of what's gone on. Let's go further back into the garage area now and check with Kenny Wallace. Kenny?
Yeah, because I'm listening to this. It seems to me that Jeff Bodine and Harry Gant got their cars really set nice. The guys that can keep the cars from rolling over on the right rear are going to keep them from blistering. So I mean, I'm seeing a lot of patience here with Harry Gant. He's very content to sit there and ride with Jeff Bodine. You know, Jeff Bodine is somewhere in his mid-40s. Harry's in his early 50s. These guys are just hooking up and trying to run away from the field.
Bodine the winner in 1990 here at Pocono, and then right now King Judd Ray can't hit himself a win here in 1984 over Cale Yarborough, and DW 92 was a great struggle finish between Grant and Walter. Looking further back on the field, take a look at Rick Max. What a day he's having to fit in those Hoosier tires. Rusty Wallace is in 5th position, and you see another one of those Bodine. That's that odd. And the Butch Markhoff, our number 7, is moving right along here. We'll give you a spot on him. He's running 18th at the present time, a lap down. The average speed on the race is staying right at 144.5, so we can be in a new record not only for this race, but to keep this pace, they'll break along Kowicki mark from years ago.
Right, that's right, Ken, and that's because we haven't had the cautions, but even more so, the lap times are so quick.
You saw that number 2 car, and it looks like it's acting up again, so it's got a push developed another time.
Well, he made the change he made a while ago. He let both right side tires down. That was to get, it may work, it may not. They also put a round right in the car, I saw that. And the change that they made on the one round right was a good move, because they take weight off the right rear tires, heat it up, and move it to the left rear. So that was a good move.
Harry Dotson, any other thoughts after you've watched the round of pit stops?
Well, I'm sure with the Hoosier tires, they said a few of them had delicious. they were to start off in this air pressure. They didn't want to do that again because the recommendations are borderline.
We're coming halfway in the event. Time by Barry Dotson alongside. And car number 42, Kyle Petty, was in for about 5 laps a few moments ago. There's the Earnhardt number 3. He's about to get overlapped. He's 1 9/10 of a second from having Bodine and Gant hobble him up. We can get a report on what happened to Kyle Petty up right now. Randy?
Look, it's going to be Dick. I'll tell you what, it is the most frightening problem a race car driver can experience. Petty's throttle leakage failed, and the carburetor stuck wide open. So they brought this thing in. They fixed it. Took them 5 laps to do it, but now Kyle can slow down by letting the gas, which he could not do before.
He's running back in 36th position. He lost 5 laps. Boy, that puts your heart in your throat, doesn't it?
It doesn't take long to get in the pits, I guarantee you, when that happens.
Turn that key off. Kyle is back out there at that pit stop to fit that throttle linkage situation. So we're halfway in the event. Bodine and Gant, they are just running this track ragged out at the lap. Dale Earnhardt, more in a moment.
Jeff Gordon, the young gun from Indiana who came south 4 years ago. And the great Dale Earnhardt, 2 of the most talented drivers on the Winston Cup circuit. Dale now a season champion with 652 victories with 6 Winston Cup titles. Jeff, talented young challenger, the won 1993 Rookie of the Year honors, and just took his first victory in Charlotte in the Coca-Cola 600, and this is sophomore year. The Winston Cup careers of these 2 drivers have revolved around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Dale Earnhardt won the Coca-Cola 600 in 1993. Then Jeff Gordon followed his path to victory lane in 1994. Action-packed created an exclusive Champ Challenger car set honoring Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt. This special edition includes 42 3D and spot UV coated cards. Call 1-800-338-6006 to order yours today for only $29.95. The first 1,000 buyers of the Champ Challenger card set will receive absolutely free a Jeff Gordon prototype card valued at $30. So call now 1-800-338-6016. Action packed. Limited cards, unlimited action.
On pit road, he had been run 3rd, Rick Mast in car number 1. Problems under the hood, had a great run going. His best career performance was a 3rd place finish this spring up at Rockingham. Looks bad for him today.
He had a great run going, and it was a bad sign there when you see smoking, and he started slowing over the hood, and they got the hood up on it now.
Randy?
They're not in any hurry, guys. They're forcing more fresh water in through the radiator, and Rick's got the engine turned off. It definitely way up. The temperature sky on it. And that's about it. You know, they'll probably fire it back up and see it right around the way. But he's going to be in trouble the rest of the day.
Bodine and Gant stay 1 and 2, and with Rick Mast coming out, that means that Mark Martin will move to 3rd, and Rusty Wallace up into 4th. Take a look at this battle here. Here you see Earnhardt in the number 3. Schrader is there, but they're getting lapped at this point. They're about to be lapped. Here comes Bodine in the number 7, and Gant in the 33, sweeping down through. Have to move in on Schrader, but boy, they're slicing up the field today.
Yeah, and Dale is going to be worth watching.
On board with Jeff Bodine. Moving up on Lake Speed in the 15. Guns him down. Now he comes looking for Earnhardt. Lake Speed back there in 15th position. Ward Burton in the 31. He is running a lap down in 13th position. And he hooks a ride on the back of car number 7. Ken Schrader pitting right now. Schrader's in. And let's see if those 2, Bodine and Gant, are going to put a lap on Earnhardt right here. Earnhardt was the winner a year ago.
It's on schedule for Kenny.
Something to miss on Ken Schrader's car. Jeff Bodine has led 7 out of 5 of the 106 laps that we put in the book. 200 laps the distance. We'll see Morgan Shepherd number 21. He's in 11th. Earnhardt right there with him. And here comes Bodine. A year ago, it was Earnhardt winning this race, pulling down to that great moment at the end, honoring Davey Allison and Alan Wicki, remembered with prayer on that 3 lap. today. Fighting to stay in the lead lap is Dale Earnhardt, the #1 man in the nation in the Winston Cup point battle. We'll take a moment and show you the full running order through the field. Get to the halfway distance. Earnhardt about to be overwhelmed by car number 7.
Ward's right there. He's trying to get his lap back. Jeff gets by Dale Ward to be right behind him.
Harry Gant stays second. That 21 through there into battle for 10th position out there. That's not what they want to be battling for.
You know, we're starting to see some overheating. It's a hot day up here, but it's not the only problem. When you're in the middle of a tire war, that means these tires are softer than they normally are, so they wear out. That means there's one place for them to go. Well, 2 places. The first place is on the racetrack. The next place to go, plug up your radiator. So you got to keep your eye on the water temperature all. And I'm sure that's part of what's happening here.
You must have to think a lot as you figure out where you're running. Here you are up in the Continental Mountains, you're down at Dover, Delaware, you're at sea level. You come up here, you're in 1,400 feet. What does that do to you?
Well, you have the capability here of running more compression than you need. Like you say, we're sitting here at 1,400 feet. At the level of competition right now, everybody's on edge. But you can come up here, you can put a little more compression in that thing and really go for it.
Ooh, Harry Gant's number 33. He's gliding out of control, spinning. This is in the turn 3 area into the grass. Caution is out. Lap 108. Harry Gant, second place rider. Something this car gets loose, ends up down in the grass. And coming to the line, 31, Ward Burton got his lap back. He snuck up under Dale Earnhardt. So Ward Burton is back in the lead lap. Games 33 on pit road, and we'll take another gander to see what developed on Harry Gant's number 33. He was having such a great day. Here's Dick Booker.
Well, he's on pit road right now. The end on this car is on, and it's an absolute ton of smoke from both under the hood. Cockpit is full of smoke. The crew is looking under the engine to see what's wrong. He obviously couldn't have blown it up completely because he didn't drive it in here. Now they've just found a potential crack in a piece of aluminum that will have led to the loss of oil. There is enough oil on this car potentially to have caused Gant to lose control of it. Crew under the hood trying to fix it. We've apparently also got a frayed line. They're working the front of the problem. Oil cooler bypass, maybe it. Are working in that area right now.
We'll look at a replay before we go to commercial here. See what happened to Harry Gant in car number 33. Oh, a lot of smoke coming out of it there.
Yeah, he found
that
his
looks
oil.
the time. Gotten his own oil.
He found his oil leak right then. Whatever it was, probably got worse.
We're way in the pit control center here. I believe I can smell some of that hot oil as he rode by the pit road here. It's too bad. Harry was running awful good, but you know, it's just a race of racing.
It smolders. And I think Harry may smolder a little on that one. He had such a good day going. Harry Gant's number 33. They're still working on it, trying to get him back in, but it will be a different 33 when he returns. Taking a look at last year's Craftsman upcoming TCS Cup Winston Cup races Saturday night, September 10th. Join us at the great Richmond Fairgrounds, Richmond, Virginia. The Miller Genuine Draft 400. It is spectacular. It is thrilling. You won't see better racing anywhere than you see in Richmond, Virginia, on that track that has the feel of a speedway and of a short track at the same time. Then October 9th, it's the Mellow Yellow 500 from the great Charlotte Motor Speedway, North Carolina. That's what's coming up.
You know, I think we got a race again now. They were going to lap the field in the Who cars, and Dale Earnhardt's the one that got the luck right there. And I know Chuck Brown's been in this situation before. He was about 2 car lengths from being lapped, and he's going to go up there and he's going to get rusty, and then he was going to get Earnhardt. But we got almost half the race left, and it'll be hard to lap the field again. But we got a race. What do you think, Chuck?
Well, I agree with you, Barry. Reminiscent of last week, they got a lap down and unfortunately got the lap back and come back and just about won the race. you know, a lot's still happen. It's going to be interesting. The break was Ward Burton. He's been running all day when the race started. And again, he was staying up with the leaders, but a lap behind for many laps before the caution happened. So he'll be charging up through the pack now that he's at the back of the pack, but on the lead lap, and he'll be one to watch too, along with a bunch of others. It's going to be exciting.
Well, it's going to be a moment or two before we get work underway. They oiled down turn 3, or Harry did pretty well. So we'll take one more break and be right back with you. We're at lap 111 here at Pocono International Raceway, 277.
Plenty of folks hoping that Jeff Gordon is a future Winston Cup champion. Welcome back to Pocono International Raceway on TBS. Great to have you with us today. Benjamin Chuck Bound here in the STP Pit Communication Center. 112 laps on the we're under caution. One of the stories we're going to be following here today. Who puts on the slick move? The liquid wrench slickest move. All of our commentators today watching these cars and drivers in action. At the end of the day, we'll select the slick move for you here before we leave the air today. Who do you like so far? Who's pulled a slick move in the early going?
Well, Jeff Bodine's been all consistent and awful strong, but slick moves, I think, of those guys in lap backs.
Yeah.
Or saving their laps anyway, so it's a long way from over to call one, I think.
Dale Earnhardt comes to mind, certainly. One driver had a great run going today, standing by with Kenny Wallace.
Well, guys, we're with Rick Mast. Rick, you were running up the top three. Started a little bit about the pack, and you were there in no time.
Well, you know, I don't know how much Jeff and Harry and a couple of those guys lead and we're holding back. But what we would do, we try to run the same speed they were running, just try to conserve our tires and wait for a caution to get caught back the leaders. I never from my car hard. I tell you, the thing was really awesome. If we'd ever got a caution, if I could have got caught up with Jeff and Harry, then we'd have seen what we had for them. You know, the car was awesome. We lost them. So I don't know, man.
Well, as we're talking to Rick Mast, we just Harry Gant go by. So 2 Hoosier cars are out. Another story we got: NASCAR used to penalize teams would roll tires out after a pit stop. If they lost their tires at road cost pit road, they'd penalize them $100. I just watched a NASCAR official Buster roll that around 3 Goodyear tires. They take the tires out. So if you're in a pit stop and you lose the tire, it rolls across pit road. They take it now. They don't find it.
That's a little steep, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more like $400.
Go to Dick Berg.
Well, Harry Gant's crew has had a good deal of work to do. They've had quite a mess to clean up underneath the number 3083 car. They went after it with various chemicals. They wanted NASCAR said, no, you guys have to do a better job. They opened it up again with a whole bunch of fouls, working on the hood to try to get the car clean enough so NASCAR would let them go back out again.
Well, we talked earlier about Dale Earnhardt dodging. He certainly, it takes just about a minute to get around the racetrack. And Earnhardt was about 4 seconds from going a lap down. That caution flag saved them. Gets to come around. They did come in. They topped off the fuel just about a lap ago. Pulled the front fenders out just a little bit, bumped up the spoiler. So as Barry was saying before, I think we're going to see a race now as we get to the late point of the day. I think it'll blows up just a little bit. So we could see somebody possibly challenging Jay before the day's over.
Well, Jeff has it all his way at the present time. Ruddy Wallace on Goodyear's is in second. Mark Martin on Goodyear's comes to third. You saw Jack Roush in the shot just a moment ago. Then you have Jeff Burton in fourth, Greg Sachs in fifth, sixth, Ernie Irvin in seventh, African Shepard. Eighth is Rudd, followed by Ward and Burton, and 10th is Earnhardt with Nemechek showing in 11th spot. 112 laps complete, gives you 11 cars in the lead lap. Continuing to clean that track up there. I guess there was a major oil down. Gant has gone 1 lap down. 1 lap to the leaders. Harry Gant after that excursion off turn number 3. Let's go to Kenny Wallace.
Harry, what a farewell tour. You and Jeff dominate. Looked like you guys were just running along trying to break away from the field.
Yeah, we threw a super car today. Hoosier had a super tire too, boy. And we were just, you know, he was ready to back and tell people let's go in a little while. And, you know, he had a lot left, and, you know, I'm sure he could have went on. And we was content to run like we were. But a piece of debris picked up the racetrack off of Jeff's 31 car went up and went through my oil cooler, and it opened the oil cooler off, and it dumped all my oil on the track. It saved the car, but trying to get oil back in it and get back around the track, the back came out.
Well, Harry, you couldn't have put on much better. So congratulations on a good run, and sorry you broke.
Thank you.
He brought it out, gave it a couple of laps, and then he pulled back in. And that's the end of the day for Harry Gant, and that is disappointing. I just assume just him keep running at end speed. It's not going to happen for Harry.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by Heilig Myers. We furnish America. We're Heilig Myers. By Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old and get into the cold. And by Power Oil. quality automotive formulas from the makers of Valvoline. For performance products, there's just one name, Tire Oil.
Here's the story at Pocono, Pennsylvania. 115 laps, 287.5 miles. After his best effort of the season, Harry Gant retires from this race. Had the car get loose on him in oil up in turn number 3, spun it around, got it back out, gave it another shot, was not to work, and has retired the car. And that's the end of the Harry Gant story here today. Will Geoff Bodine be able to persevere? Russell Wallace, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, Greg Sachs, all lined up behind him, will be coming after him. We restart. The delay at present time is not because of the oil down situation, but a fence which apparently some fans got to and able to get through, and the track officials here are holding everything up while they fix this fence. You can see the area where there is a problem, and they are not going to continue until they get that fence properly put back together. Ken Wallace can give us some information right now on the 25 car.
Well, guys, within this last caution, 3 cars have dropped out. This guy right here, Kenny Schrader, and the Kodak Chevrolet. You know that Woodbury Scranton support a little routed. Kenny jumped out of his car and was gone on the way to the airport, so we couldn't get an interview with him. But, you know, it was a tough day for him. He had some motor problems, so Kenny Schrader's out of it for today.
At the first DNF on Schrader in the 1994 season. First time that Kenny Schrader's been behind the wall in Winston Racing. Brett Bodine, Ward Burton, Kyle Petty all back on pit road here, and here's Rick Benjamin with more at the STP pit.
Well, John and I have been talking here while we've been off the air for a few moments about the track situation. Chuck, we had shown some pictures in the second turn. This is back in turn 1 where down the asphalt had come. It doesn't look as though it's gotten any worse in the last 50 or 60 laps.
No, it really doesn't look like any change, but I guess turn 2 is doing all right as well. They say that the asphalt was mostly turn 1, so that's good. You know, at least 1 turn is better than 2 turns. I guess if you have to have a problem.
It does look as though now this is going to hold up and be okay. The rest of the West was concerned that they might have to sweep tracks, and hasn't been done. Looks as though we'll be ready to race here on a very strong note these last 75 laps.
116 laps, and we're under caution. And again, they're working on a fence area here, I believe in the turn 3 area of the track before they turn them loose. I think we're getting done. They'll get that crew in to allow them to when they'll turn them loose.
Okay, we saw a bunch of cars coming in pits. Reason being, side of we're at lap 116 right now. You look at running 38, 40 laps. They got to do it 2 more times. That's why the 3 came in. I'm by Ward and both cars in the lead lap took the gamble of having to go to the back, but it paid dividends.
Earnhardt in 10th position after that stop. And he checked back there as well, having a very good day in the Herrick car. We got our all back together and our folk back in where they belong. Apparently that was done by some fans. That had nothing to do with the race car or anything. So we're getting set for a go here. You see Sterling Marlin down trying to get his back. He's in 12th position. And how about Wally Donklin back up there in 13th, trying to get a lap back in car number 43.
This could be good.
They get them here, Bodine, and let's go on board with Mike Wallace in car number 90. And take a look at what it's like going into turn number 1. Wallace back in that 26th position, giving him a wild ride down here. It's that track fighting his way through. Rich Bickle just in front of him there. Nemechek.
That's a great shot.
Mike Wallace, Kenny Wallace over here today. They gave a performance last night at South Austin. Rusty Wallace up there in 2nd position. Wallace is everywhere here at Pocono. Incidentally, congratulations last night to Dennis Setzer. Got his first Grand National victory. He did it in stock. It was a great start for the future, that Dennis Setzer. Take a look at Jimmy Irvin peeling get off and being there in front of Greg Sachs, number 77. Swap to 4th position.
It's had a long day so far. The chassis doesn't look like it's very good today. And he was glad he was through that caution.
Well, on the sort out, Jeff Bodine keeps the hand on the field. Nobody getting a lap back on that.
See the Hoosiers close up right there, and these are fresh toes.
20 card. Some tough games of recent. Lost that point lead last week. Looks so solid up there at Loudon, and then it slam ball, and that slammed down his effort to stay in front in the point standings for the Winston Cup as they come to 17th race of 1994. Wallace Haynes second, Mark Martin third, Ernie Irvin the fourth, and the number 8, Jeff Burton, is fifth. Jeff Gordon in the 24. He's picking 15th position right now. With him is Wally Dolan backside. You see the number 30, and here comes Ricky Rudd dicing right up through the middle, down. It's like short track racing there at 167 miles an hour. Come out of that high bank.
I think he's one of them who came in fuel, so he's got a good car. He's just trying to get back to the front.
Earnhardt down on the bottom with Rudd, and he's away. That car number 10, very much in the hunt. He's in the lead lap. Rudd has been there all day. Hasn't had much of a call. The action's been up there. Those Hoosiers versus the Goodyears. Just listen to the story now. Gale's up to 8. Rudd's to 9. As they try to close on this thing, and they still have plenty of time to do it. Heat of the race, Jeff Bodine. Those tires look good when they come off that car time after time. Some others come in blistered and ripped up. Not Bodine really got right steps for this time.
Well, Ricky Rudd does indeed have a good car, Ken Squire. That is the car he won New Hampshire with last week. The other thing Ricky Rudd had also for himself here at Poco is fuel mileage. All year long, Ricky Rudd has done very, very well in fuel mileage. He's one of the few drivers that's got the fortune of having an engine with a lot of horsepower and great mileage.
The only thing is, Dick Bergen on that the other guy that really understands fuel mileage seems to be Bodine. He's done a couple of times. He still is that lead. And, of course, Earnhardt in number 3 just in front of her 10, dodging that bullet from getting over a lap. That was big break for him, allowing Earnhardt to get back in here and hustle back with these leaders. Ricky Rudd in car number 10 stays in the lead lap. And take a look at this here one. Here's Wallace for second place. Mark Martin pulled up. You see Jeff Burton.
Burton strong.
Boy, is Jeff Burton strong. That's the Vola car running its best performance of the year. Ernie Irvin out a little. Mark Martin comes back to the inside. Get back in there again at US Air 77.
Yeah, you saw Ernie work our 8 car across the back like that. When they do that, it'll get car loose with that.
Rusty Wallace again trying to win his sponsor's own race, the Miller car for Roger Penske out here today. Fighting in second place to hold on to that as Ray Vesta's car, number 8, closes in on time. Ford's top 4, top 5 positions out here. Give it the top 6 in Irvin. Even Morgan with Morgan Shepherd. Morgan Shepherd back there in 7th. Fords have won the last 5 races in Winston Cup racing. Looks like it's going to continue here today.
That's a Ford racetrack. It has been for many years, and as dominant as they are right now, it certainly looks like it's going to happen.
Makes it a Ford track.
Well, it's exactly perfect for the Ford. And that, I mean, the Chevrolet motor has torque. It has horsepower. The Ford seems to pull a little longer, more 500 RPMs long. But it really shows up down this long straightaway.
That's where you are right now, riding with Rusty Wallace down this 3,740-foot straightaway, leading into the 14-degree banking of turn 1. Snaps it up a gear.
There was your shot right there.
And as he does, down on the inside comes Martin to challenge him.
Martin must have outshifted him.
Irvin coming with Martin over the tunnel turn. Wallace stays just in front. All of this for second place.
It's tight. This car's tight here.
Rusty Wallace dropping back a position, now dropping another one to Ernie Irvin. Rusty Wallace, how do you like your chances of winning the points championship as you can continue to slow them down this year.
I'm planning on winning the thing. I really feel like I've got a better car than a couple of my head guys ahead of me. It's tracks, 28-3 are a lot better than me at Talladega. We're going to race hard everywhere else, and all I can do is just give it my all and hope to get it.
That's how he won the championship before. He was 319 points behind leader Urban going out into Loudon last week. He's now 241 behind Urban. Another 4 behind Earnhardt. Snuck out there in front. Here's Urban Wallace in their own personal scramble here today.
Yeah, you can see right there where Rusty's tight. Ernie kind of pulls out on him.
Back over the front of the field. Bodine in first. Jeff in second, and he's drawing away a bit. He's got himself about 10 car lengths in what had been a 5-6 car battle for second place. Then in the third spot, here comes Martin, followed by Urban. Here you see Wallace right behind him. Sachs. Here comes Darrell Waltrip. Dale Earnhardt in the number 3. Correction on that one in 8th with Rudd back there in 9th. Let's not forget that Rusty stays right there in 10th. He's in this lead lap as well. And Darrell Waltrip has had a terrible day. He's back in 36th position. Nanny lumps down. Thing never came up for him. Inside Waltrip's car, the Delco Cemetery showing why he's moved up among the leaders.
Yeah, it's
talked about a broken shock that getting back. Can't get the wins, can't get the miles per hour to make that thing go where he wants it to today.
Yeah, I think about 170 right there.
Chuck, let's talk to Chuck about that. And you look at those RPMs. What would he want them to be if it was wide open and running where he would wish it?
Well, the Cup race, they run them pretty hard, and I think here in Pocono they'll run them 8,700 pretty much all day long. Now, on the front straightaway, you may not see maximum RPM on the tachometer because they shifted your fourth gear, which is unique. It's the only one on the Cup circuit that we shift every lap. All the cars out there, they go to fourth gear just to start finish line. They let break off and break down for the first turn, and they downshift back to third gear and leave in third gear all the way around the rest of the racetrack. So they're actually making most of the lap in third gear, but they just overturn the RPM too much in the front straightaway to go to just for the last 1/3 of the front stretch.
Well, we're in here in 92. Darrell Waltrip, the Western Auto car, not having much on at all. 126 laps, 315 miles complete. Following Mark Martin, third spot. Ernie Urban in fourth. Rusty Wallace in fifth from the Advanced Auto Parts aerial platform here in the Miller 500. 130 laps complete. 141-mile-an-hour average with Bodine first. Kenneth Burton in second. Mark Martin third. Ernie Urban's fourth. Rusty Wallace fifth. Greg Sachs, Ward Shepard, Ricky Ward Burton, and Joe Nemeth round out the top 10. Dale Earnhardt has fallen to 11th position. Still showing 11 cars in the lead lap with the 12th place car, Sterling Marlin, one down, followed by Wally Dockback. Here's moved away from that second place battle and is going after the lead. Jeff Bodine, and let them run through to come into turn number 1. Led by Martin for third, Urban, Wallace, Sachs. In the lap car, it's Sterling Marlin. Joe Nemechek still in having a great day.
Yeah,
Hedrick car number 1, yellow and black.
Great run for him.
We'll take a look at the Autolite race story thus far. If you just joined us, catch you up to date on how it began. Ward Burton off from the beginning. Jeff Burton got in there. We had a short caution early on in the race. Bodine just took over for a while. Rusty Wallace got a short shot at that lead, but it was Bodine, for the most part, fighting Harry Gant over and over again, getting up there, swapping that lead back and forth. Those two cars on Hoosier tires seem to work together to pull away. It's the story of what's happened thus far in the race. The various leaders in the event. It's been a Bodine Gant Hoosier story from the outset. They came in here, put the front 2 rows together, all with Hoosier tires, and it still is Jeff Bodine who's still on the pole leading. And Jeff Burton right there, he was in that second row. Brother Ward was the outside of the front row when it all began. The other guy, Greg Saxon, had that great qualifying run. Greg Saxon, 77, now showing 6 in the lead lap.
You can see in there where Ernie got a little lap too, and he and Dale are running about the same because of tire situation. That'll be 5 more points for him.
Earnhardt in the number 3 car on the tail end of the lap. Perhaps Randy can give us more on car number 3, the Richard Childress machine. Dale Earnhardt at the controls. Randy?
Well, Richard Childress, I know you've come in a couple of times, bumped up the spoiler. Is the car loose, and can they do anything to help him?
Randy got a little bit too tight. He's been on the spoiler a little bit. It's just killed the engine right now. He's lost about 300 RPM. So we're going to adjust on it again on the next stop.
I think you can do it. Bob, to the front, Jeff's awfully tough, Hoosiers.
Yeah, they're really dominant today. You know, what can you say? That just today's their day.
Dickford?
Steve Mills, Steve, is there anything you can do in this situation? You're running third, but they're running away from you.
Yeah, they're driving all right now. Got a little advantage on us, looks like. But we have a lot of faith in the Goodyear tires that we're on. We're hoping in the long run we'll be a little bit better. But so far, they've been pretty stout. Our biggest right now is to hold on. Me and Rusty are coming. There's going to be these 2 more fuel stops. Got a long ways to go. The guys out front are not covered right now.
Indeed, they do have them covered. Rusty Walsh trying to fight off the 7-7 in the main straightaway. The Sachs right there. They trail the leader or leaders by 6 seconds. But pretty good fight still goes on between 21 and 3 on the tail end of that lead lap. 10th and 11th spot here. The Wood brothers sit for number 21 and Earnhardt. Last cars in the lead lap. 10th and 11th. Some different from a year ago when Earnhardt motored away from the field there.
Yeah, and it looked very, very good final practice yesterday. And he's strong today. Like Richard said, they got a car a little tight right now. You put the spoiler up here too much, and it just kills all your momentum and straightaway speed.
Bring it all the way down. You can't get it back up.
Yeah, 2-3 miles per hour easily. I'm sure they'll make that adjustment the other way when he comes in.
Closes in on Morgan Shepherd, wants to take 1 spot back. T. Ward just behind them. Here they are, main chute. 135 down, 65 laps to go. It's Pocono, Pennsylvania, where Hoosier Tires may be making some history here today. Jeff Bodine and Jeff Burton. It's 1 and 2. We saw Jeff Burton just mow away from a pack of 5 or 6 cars, fighting for second place. We've got the 28 car in trouble. Going down that short chute. Long Pond straightaway. Ernie Irvin's car coming off turn 1, just backed up.
Yeah, that's a bad time to be that slow that far away.
So a week ago, he had all going his way at Loud, and he ended up, what, 30th, and now again today, all the cars still running. It's going to really cost him in that point battle. 2 races in a row.
Yeah, if he's going to help it, he can get these Goodyear boys by not making it in here. He should take the road to the left right here.
Ernie Irvin's number 28 came off the pace just as it entered turn 1.
He may not
for a moment, he may not bring it back. A 3-time winner in the 1994 season. Ernie Irvin in trouble, trying to bring it home.
That's what we're talking about. I think he's going to make it here, so that'll definitely bring out a caution.
136 laps complete. You think it's on his mind?
Well, you never know.
Yellow comes out. Caution is out. So that's a break for those good guys to get back in there again. Ernie Irvin, who had an outstanding run in the early going, last 5 races, had his problems, and we'll talk about it when we come back. Pocono, Miller 500. Bodine. Back with you again at Pocono, Pennsylvania. Pit road under caution, but everybody coming in, and the Ernie Irvan car has just arrived there. Take a look at what happened just a moment ago down here. Watch Martin's number 6 coming out. Look out, here comes Rusty, and here comes number 7 having to take real evasive action, Jeff Bodine. To me, that's not good user report.
It's amazing the job those guys do in the pits.
Lucky Rusty that time, and lucky Bodine as well. To Dick Bergman.
Well, Ernie Irvan is in the books right now, Ken, and they're working on the distributor of his automobile. He has had problems with the engines. Last year, he failed to finish both races here because of engines, and in the June race here, he had an ignition problem. Right now, they're checking to see if the timing chain or potentially the camshaft may have broken. And working on the distributor, they've got the cap off. As you can see, just about everybody on this team has got their head under the hood, including Robert Yates, and he is in charge of the engine room.
Take a look at the point standings here. Earnhardt came in, moving out in front at Loudon, New Hampshire for the first time with Ernie Irvan in second. Ernie had a 7th Pocono, a 7th at Michigan to cylinder, and finished on 7 cylinders at Pocono and Michigan. Daytona got a good second place finish there. New Hampshire crashed late in the race out today. Looks like another motor problem, and this one looks serious. See if he can get back out. The car did crank up and did come in under its own power. Number 28.
Here comes Dave.
Earnhardt on to pit road. Randy Pemberton waiting for him there on the end of the pit road all the way down. Under caution, lap 139.
Earnhardt is in. I'll tell you what, as they came in under the last pit stop, they dropped the spoiler down. Look at this. They're going to do 2 wedge wrenches. They said they're going to get radical now and try to fix this car for him. They talked to us more about the car being tight. They're trying to loosen it up. They bumped the spoiler down. Wedge wrenches going to both sides of the car. Barry Dotson, what do you make of that one?
Well, probably it looked like they were raising the back of the car possibly and lowering the spoiler. You couldn't tell really the way they were going opposite ways. So it wouldn't change the bite in the car diagonal. It's just that they were changing the frame height. So it probably helped the straightaway speed.
Yeah, you know, Dave Lean's what he needs. And when they make those adjustments, you can bet it's going to be a little bit stronger and a little bit faster now.
Let's go to Kenny Wallace.
Okay, guys, we're here in the pits, and what we're reporting on is these war wagons. You know, when the guys are trying to finish these races and then they get in a wreck and the points become really important. Here's more Shepherd, spare oil cooler, spare steering box, and a complete front-end suspension component. Buy some upper lower A-frames. So when these guys get in a wreck and they need to get back out there, this is what we call the war wagon. And Barry Dotson can definitely tell you that this is what you need.
Yeah, you got to have everything that you need right there, right then. You can't. Oh, 28's rolling back. They need a war wagon for that one.
Yeah, when you pull that distributor cap off to see if the button's turning and it isn't, it's normally a broken cam after you can't fix it.
Here's Dick Berger.
The problem is a timing chain, and I'm going to tell you there is no joy in Ernie Irvan's pit right now. He is done for the day. They are not going to attempt to fix it. What that usually is valves have bounced off pistons. They're done.
Yeah, it wouldn't have time to fix this sort of problem.
It's good. When it's good, when it's bad, the nightmare has been here for over a month. Like to lose like 100 points today. That's a big hit.
Yeah, big hit.
Here's Earnhardt. And back in again, and that number 3 as they continue to work on adjustment.
Yeah, let's see what they're doing if we can figure it out. Air pressure.
They're going to go ahead and drop the air pressure, at least the right rear, I guess is what they're working on, Barry. But I talked to them just a minute ago. What they want to do is give them as much rake in the car as they can legally with dropping the spoiler at the same time. So who knows? But that's about as radical as I've seen this team in a long, long time, going with 2 wedge wrenches here in the rear of that car.
10 cars are in the lead lap. That 10th car is number 3, Earnhardt. trying anything they can to get themselves in this thing.
Well, they're a championship team. You know, that's been, and when you're beat, you got to do something. And they know they're beat so far, and they're just trying to help the car. And you can help it. The proof's in that last week. It was on the verge of that almost came back and won the race. So that's proof right of a championship team. Always trying.
I'll tell you, there's another championship team we need to talk about. The Stavola brothers have decided to help all those folks who've had their lives upside down. The flooding in Georgia and Alabama, Florida. They're putting together a stock car racers flood relief effort. They're going to bring non-perishable items to drop-off locations at Charlotte and Atlanta Motor Speedways, Darlington and Talladega and Daytona in the next several days, starting next Wednesday, the 20th, to the following Thursday, the 28th. Burlington Motor Carriers, major trucking firm, they're going to put trucks out. They're going to gather up all these goods that stock car racing fans are going to bring to the location, transport them to the Red Cross where they're needed down south. Jack Flowers and Speedway newspaper for helping put this together. So hats off to the Stavola brothers for helping folks very much in need this time.
They are a great bunch of guys, the Stavola brothers. And, of course, they've had a win at Talladega, but it's a long time between wins for them. Let's hope they have a day today. We're ready on a restart. They're taking 141. Board showing 141. Says head down to turn number 1, back into green. There you see Sterling Marlin, Jeff Gordon trying to get a lap back. As you see Bodine square it off right on the bottom of the racetrack. Let's go to Kenny Wallace.
I'm here with Ernie. Ernie, you've been really tough all year long, and you broke a little bit. So what happened?
Hey, Rusty. Oh, I mean, Kenny. Evidently, we broke a timing in or something, or a camshaft or something. Not real sure, but kind of put it on third gear down in turn 1. It was like the battery was shut off, but all the electrical still works. So it's a bad day. We just have to get ready for Talladega next.
Well, Ernie's taking it in stride on the way to Talladega, and it's a tough break.
You got a tough break, didn't you?
Yeah, man.
As the field comes around, he saw that race last night too. He should have had the big break on this restart. Wallace in front, Martin in second, Bodine back there in third. Sure, he'll try to wheel through. You've got a couple Goodyear cars first and second, then a lap car. Jeff Bodine. Bodine third. Jeff Burton back there in fourth. Greg Sampson fifth. Mitch sixth. Ward Burton seventh. Rudy Rudd looks eighth, and then you see Morgan Shepherd ninth. Earnhardt 10th. Here's Sachs moving up under the 24. Take a look at the running order for 140.
77 looks like he might have a problem.
77 backing up time. Greg Sachs, who was running fifth. That one goes to pieces.
Place is hard on the last 100 miles.
Car number 77. Greg Sachs having an excellent day. He's in at 40-30. Apparently, best finish this year was that 6. Headed it to Daytona and equal that to Talladega. Look at Earnhardt. Let's see if all that work on pit road made any difference. Car number 3, Earnhardt. A lap down Sterling Marlin in 11th. Jeff Gordon is in the 12th position. Bobby Labonte is 13th. 14th is Todd Bodine.
Well, I was in the 77 pit when that happened, guys, and they pretty much just started putting the brooms away and the tools away. I asked them what had happened to it. They just broke it, so they don't know for sure. He's done things.
When that happens, just seeing that business is usual. You load up the war wagon and head off. How do you feel inside? It was down there without Stockton when they lost the car. Chuck Bound had Pocono back in June, and they go about it business as usual, but you got to be more inside.
You feel badly about it, like Kenny Schrader's run today. That's his first DNF, and the scent of those air wrenches. I just heard those last and that's a terrible thing. You don't want to hear it.
You saw the Dillonback car staying 18th in this show, one down from those leaders. Riding with Jeremy Mayfield in Cale Yarborough's car number 98. He's up in 21st position, getting a good run today.
Looks like the work that he did on Dale's cars paid off so far.
He's staying right in there. Before it was backing up. Now it's holding his own. Question is, can he start to move forward? Try to overcome Wallace, Martin, Burton does. There's your lead here. It's Wallace. Line second. Mark Martin. What, 1.5 fuel stop if they put in the left?
Yeah, right now
full stop and
the fuel is not in the pit right now. Caution around lap 1. It'll certainly be a race.
So that's right back to what it usually is. Pocono fuel race, and here you see Mark Martin closing in going for Rusty Wallace in the lead, and with comes Jeff Bodine. Martin first, Bodine to second. You've got rookies out here in this race running magnificently. Jeff Burton fourth, Ward Burton fifth, Nemechek. He's up there in 6th spot.
Yeah, just a great under Jeff Gordon coming off turn. He's up here. He's had a good solid run all day.
Well, there's the first time Martin has led in this race. On board with Jeff Bodine. First and second.
Jeff's just watching him here. He's getting to make a move.
Long Pond straight away.
Yeah, they've run long enough. The Hoosiers are getting ready to kick in here, I believe.
Goodyear car in first, Hoosier in second. When they lined up at the outset today, Hoosier had their name on the 6th tire, 1 through 4. And Barry Dotson was sent before it all began. It's for the old tortoise and hare. Those Hoosier tires. The hare out there, the tortoise for the moment, is up there with them. Interesting outcome when this one's over. Working lap 148 of 100. He put 170 seconds on the record. Average speed has been tilted down to 134 miles an hour. 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th on the tires. That may change right now. It's in there. Here comes Wallace back. Wallace to hand goal, and he goes up through.
They cut Burton off there. Jeff was coming along too. That was a move by Lester.
Jeff Bodine first, Mark Martin second, Rusty Wallace third, Jeff Burton fourth.
I think you'll see the V8 car make a move on a few laps here.
You can credit Jeff Bodine with 109 laps out in front today. That's the 6th time he's pushed that number 7 car up on the point.
Gotta feel good being a new owner driver and being competitive right off the bat. Like you said earlier, winning the Winston-Salem, that's a premier race, and looking like he might win this thing for the day.
Yep, well, if he's ever faced a moment and not wanted to think about it, that's the situation going on in Mark Martin's pit right now. Early on in the race, they started reporting around 30 pounds of oil pressure on the gauge that's on the dash. They're saying, we think the gauge is at, and we're not positive. Our sponsor's product's pretty good, but 30 pounds is not enough oil pressure to go all the way on this thing.
Holding fast right now. Moving to the inside. Here comes Jeff Burton. Barry Dotson, you called that one. Here he comes, looking for a shot to get under Wallace, and Rusty doesn't want to give him anything.
And he never does. I don't think he's got much choice here. There he goes. See you later, Rusty. He's not going to give up. He's going to dog you here.
They make it look so easy at those tremendous speeds. Watch it live with Miller, Genuine Poker, PA. Rookies story here right now. Jeff Burton back here in the 3rd spot in the Spola Brooks. Ray Bestis, number 8 T-Bird.
Both a great guy. Just a pleasure to know and be around every week.
This kid, a number 8, current and Winston rookie point leader. He had a 5 finish. Had 4th down in Atlanta earlier this year. What run he's giving this far. He goes for a Winston Cup victory. No less than that. That's a present time. Bodine stays first. Martin's more in a moment. 150 complete.
The Miller Genuine Draft 500 is brought to you by Peerless Faucet and by Airfire Spark Plugs.
One of the nicest days for racing we've seen at Pocono International Raceway in quite some time. About 85 degrees today, sunshine shining, and a full house fans enjoying the Miller Genuine Draft 500. You're enjoying the broadcast today on TBS Sports. Rick Benjamin here in the STP Pit Communication Center. I want to remind you about the official directory of NASCAR and the Winston Cup Series. It's certainly something you'll want to have at home. Full information about all the sports series visits, about teams, the drivers, all the points of interest if you're going to visit one of the race tracks, and it's available to you right now by calling our toll-free 1-800-RACE-345. Only $19.95. Get your order with our official directory of NASCAR and the Winston Cup Series. Winston Cup driver Chuck Bound with us in the ACC today. Less than 50 laps to go. Strategy-wise, here on Hoosier Tires, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm almost thinking right now, it doesn't matter what you are, what you're on, there might not be caution from now to the end of the race. And you need track position, you need to run hard, you need to keep up. Now, Jeff Bodine so dominant, maybe he can leave a little bit reserved to take care of those Hoosier tires. But all the rest of them, except maybe Ward or the other Burton brothers, they might be an exception to the Hoosier tires. But those Goodyear guys got to go.
There's a lot of talk the last several weeks about two tire stops late in the race. Think we might see that today?
No, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of laps to run when they do come to that full window. I think it's very, very likely we could see that today.
Caution on the speedway. Number 9 in trouble. Drops to the bottom of the track. Looks like today is over for Rickle. His not starting career with Harry Melling. And they're bringing down another caution flag. That would caution number 5 this afternoon. Comes out at lap 155. 154. 154 is the lap they're putting that one down for. That is 5th caution of the day. Let's take a look at the pass that happened a moment ago between cars numbers 8 and 6, second place. Bodine out in front. Mark Martin on the outside. This is going to the first turn. Goodyear car on the outside, Hoosier car on the inside, and there he is. Jeff Spurt up to second spot where he is right now.
We have called that one. Seems like about 10 laps. It's a pretty good race, and after that, the Hoosiers take over.
Well, we'll have to see here. This is going to throw out the strategy again. 155, that gets us inside the window to go home?
Not quite.
Half a tank?
Well, they need to get to lap 160, I think, to even get it. I think Dalton will be out. Although the 9 car stopped up in turn 3, he didn't pick it in.
So Harry Melling's car number 9 comes to rest up there. Rich Vick just looking for some assistance. Questioning how long will he get started. It will have a major impact on the finish of the race.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by Western Auto, the official auto parts service store of NASCAR. By Liquid Wrench, non-flammable with Teflon, thousands of uses around your home, shop, and car. And by the official directory, your own personal guide to racing.
Well, Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin as well. 4 tires for each. 1 round of bite taken out of Rusty's car, so they're going to try and loosen him up a little bit. And that's about it as far as up at this end of pit road for the Goodyear cars. Dick, what do you got?
Well, Mark Martin took 1 round into bite in the rear end of his car. He took 4 tires off. He went. It was a great stop. It was 19 seconds, but 2 cars beat him out. Jeff Bodine was one of them.
157 laps now complete. They get close to that. We'll 160 to get them home. Rest of the field coming in right now. Todd Bodine leads them in with Sterling, Marlin, Gerald Jarrett, and the rest. It'll be another lap at least before we turn them loose. Let's go and take a quick break here and then get back as we prepare for these final 43 laps to be run today in the Miller Genuine Draft 500.
Welcome back to Pocono International Raceway, the mountains of central Pennsylvania, the Pocono Mountains from our Advanced Aerial Parts aerial platform here on TBS. Rick Benjamin back with you at Pocono International Raceway, the STP Pit Communication Center. About 43 laps to go, still down Bodine out in front, and we are under caution once again. UAW and General Motors team up to build some automobiles. Now the UAW GM Teamwork Campaign has teamed up with Pocono Raceway for quite a sweepstakes, and 3 finalists won all expense paid trips to come to the race here today. Before the start of today's race, those 3 finalists drew entries, randomly picking an entry ball marked with our card for the field today. The 3 cars chosen, the car that finishes highest wins $10,000 for the finalists. There are the 3 gentlemen who had the lucky numbers. Second place takes $7,500, and the third place gets $5,000. And it's just one of the many things that go into making races here at Pocono so interesting. Well, the finalist with a little luck, in fact, might win $1 million if they get a second entry that the winning persons today finished first, second, and third. If they hit the trifecta, so to speak, it's $1 million prize of today. UAW-GM teamwork at Pocono International Raceway. Randy Pemberton, what's on pit road?
Well, we're questioning right now, can any of these guys make it? It's lap 158. I do know this. Ward Burton's team has just come over the radio and they say, we're going to top that thing off when they give the 1-0 sign. So it'll be like lap 159, lap 160. 40 laps to go. They said, Ward, whatever you've ever learned about drafting, do it, because we're trying to go the rest of the way without stopping again. Dick Berggren?
Jeff, guys say they cannot make it, Randy. They're just going to have to stop for fuel. They say it's about 3.5 seconds worth of fuel. That's about 6 to 8 gallons, roughly. Can't make it on what they've got now.
If you want to gamble on somebody for mileage, take a look at car number 10, Rick Rudd, back in 9th position at lap 160. Yes, indeed, they're on their feet and cheering here in Pocono, Pennsylvania today. 100 miles to go, lap 160. This is the biggest crowd they've ever had at Pocono International Raceway for this July race. They were here early. We were out here about 7 o'clock, and the place was already packed. Traffic was backed up. Well, we've had swell time, and this is going to go right to the wire. Again, it's going to become a fuel battle. Take a look at Ricky Rudd right there in number 10. Now has his own team, that RPM team. They're fresh from victory at Loudon, Hampshire. He could pull another one off here today. Up in front will be Jeff Bodine. You know, the last time, I was looking in the book, the last time they had a pole winner win this race, 1983, Tim Richardson pulled it off, Barry. That was one of your cars, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It sure was.
Remember that one?
Oh, yeah, he was the most for Pocono. I think everybody knows that. And that was a good week for us. You never forget those days. We had a great time,
Let's talk about Ricky Rudd for a moment. And what a job he has done this year, putting together a brand new team. Is it something extra special last week, winning at Loudon for you, Ricky Rudd?
I tell you, it was awful big rates right up there. Probably our first win way back in 1983, and win as a car owner, and just being able to have a group of people together that put this thing together from very little bit to work with in the beginning and to victory lane. It's been an enjoyable last couple 6-7 months.
Well, I've just talked to Billy Engel, crew chief for Ricky Rudd. I said, can you guys possibly even make it from here? And he said, there's no way. We definitely can't make it. And even the guys that just come in and topped off, they can't make it either. But what they have done for themselves is lessen the amount of time that they will need to stop under grid to fuel in the car. So if it would have been a 4-second stop, maybe it'll only be a 2-second stop. That'd be a traditional racetrack. But Billy Engel said there's no way it can be here.
That's the key in the 3 that came in, where Nemechek in the 41 made that pit stop. The 31, Ward Burton, came on pit road, and Morgan Shepherd. Those are the 3 that came here and topped their tanks just before we get set to go green once again. When they take green flag, 160 will come up on the board. 40 laps to go. Underway with Bodine in front, Rusty Wallace second, Earnhardt third, Martin fourth, Jeff Burt in 5th, Ricky Rudd in 6th as they tear down into the first corner.
Looks like a madhouse scramble.
Clean start into the back straightaway. It's Jeff Bodine trying to bust away the rest of this field. Hurry. Martin trying to find some running room. And here comes Wood, working with Bobby Labonte in the number 22. Ooh. Back off that one a little.
Yeah, a little bit of patience here, but he knows he's got to get to the front. This is a dash here.
Jeff Burton, number 8, on the inside. Jeff Gordon in the 24. He's back a lap down in 10th position. Waltrip from dead in the rear, last row today. That number 30, that Pennzoil car in 13th position. Chuck Ryder's team is elated about performance they're getting out of Michael Waltrip in number 30.
done a good job hanging in there. He's well up in the points race.
Let's get this search position and speed over the tunnel turn. On board with Jeremy Mayfield, car number 98, the Fingerhut car. Shown 20 feet down. More than a couple of laps down. On board with Rusty Wallace. Through the gears. Down that long straight. Second place. Watch it. He goes into turn number 1. All the way down to the grass. Shifts again. Comes after Bodine.
Now he's got a 380 gear. When he gets over back on the front side and shifts into high, he'll have about a 64.
Just as we polish Ken. And can you pull this whole 3,700 foot straight away with that gear?
Well, you can, but you may not learn. He can't chance that being where it is in the points. He knows it quickly.
Earnhardt staying third. Mark 4th. Rudd 5th. Jeff 56. Nemeth check. Ward Burton 8. Jeff Morgan shirt up in there. Some pretty good uniform. If Jeff Bodine can pull this off today, with his on pole and win and collecting 2 races, he'd be $3,000. I think the last time it was won, it was right here in this track. Rusty took it.
Well, Jeff Bodine is thinking this thing, and I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people in Grandstand who are certainly cheering for him, because Jeff Bodine's career parallels this racetrack. He was the very first guy ever to come with a modified Camry. He ran for USAC stock car year, and what a story that was. It took him 2 cars to finish. The car he started with blew an engine just as they threw a red flag for rain. They held the race up for a whole week. Jeff got into another car. USAC let him do it. He finished 10th. He's won twice in Winston Cup cars. I'm going to tell you, he's got a lot of fans in this grandstand who watched him here since the first shovel for dirt at Pono.
He originally came here when it was 3/4 mile. Montgomery folks had the track. Had a lot of great modified races in that 3/4 mile.
Well, all I can say is Dale Earnhardt's got to be amazing, because of all those adjustments they made on that car before. I came down to the crew. I said, "Is it helped at all?" Nah, not real. It's about the same. So, I mean, just can flat out drive. I mean, he is hustling that car around the track.
Well, I got to think that that improvisation that we saw, where they just threw the book away and decided to make some changes, take some risk out there and see what they could do to make it better. It's work. That 2-car draft up in front, he's just barely inside, but he's staying right with him at this point. He's going to make a race out of this. Earnhardt's around. You got yourself a race.
Yeah, he'll be there for a little bit. We need to see what happens. Like I said earlier, about 10, 15 laps, it seems like a good year's backing up. So we'll see if the adjustments have helped him.
Well, last week at Loudon, Dale Earnhardt proved why he's a 6-time champion. But it sure was easy.
Well, we were off pretty bad at the start. We'd put a different gear in for the race than what we'd practiced with, and the car was a little tight from the middle off, and we worked on the car. And in the middle of the race, I said, "Hey, guys, we need to build a new race car for this car. It's about a 3-year-old race car." I said, "We need to, come with something newer and try to get around here better." But we was having a tough time.
Yeah, well, you know how that ride, that tough time fished out with a second-place finish a week ago behind Ricky Rudd. Further back, Jeff Burton closes and shoots by the number 6 of Mark Martin. That puts number 8, Jeff Burton, up to 4th. Earnhardt 3rd, Wallace 2nd. Jeff Bodine leading. Lap 166 now complete. 415 miles has been run of this 500-mile contest. Coming up, Richmond, Virginia on a Saturday night, first week of September. Join us here on CBS. Under the lights, it's fantastic action.
Right there where the Hoosiers work the best, off the corner, they drift and move out and put some distance like you just put Mark right. Martin, that's not giving up off. But Jeff's got his sights set on Dale Earnhardt. Let's see how long it takes to run him down.
get a glimpse here of just how much ground that number 8 car has to make up to catch Earnhardt in the 3. Black cars, great story here. Earnhardt, for the moment, trying to defend off the leading rookie, Jeff Burton, and Mark Martin in number 6.
Like this, you see it?
Jumps.
Just jump out there. They're getting a better forward bite.
The other black car, Rusty Wallace, in the 2 right now. Ernie Irvine has retired, if you're just joining us. And the car and Dearly in the point battle. Here's Rusty Wallace, still scrambling, still fighting. Get himself up for a run on Jeff Bodine, the pole sitter today for the Miller Genuine Draft 500. .168 laps when they come around. He'll come off here now. Bodine first. Wallace as second. 30 laps, 75 miles remaining to be run here today. The Miller Genuine Draft 500. Earnhardt closes on 6. But the big story is Jeff Burton just motored around those 2. Jeff Burton up into 3rd spot and closing on Rusty Wallace. Here's where Ward Burton's number 31. He's also on a roll. He's in 6th position. And as Ray Watson explained, once those Hoosiers begin to take hold, those guys look like they're jet propelled out here this afternoon. Burton, Brunson, Bodine, mixed up with Wallace, Martin, and Earnhardt. 3 Hoosier cars and 3 Goodyear tire cars fighting it out here at the finish.
Rusty's kind of catching Jeff. Hard to say that part is the other is catching Rusty.
Yeah, there it is, Jeff Burton, and that number 8 closing right down on Lucky Wallace in 2nd spot.
That's a good air sandwich right there. Rusty's driving awful hard right now.
Goodyear's the meat in that sandwich. What you mean, right?
Two excellent coaches.
Well, Jeff Bodine looking for his 15th win, stayed out in front lap after lap. He's had a great performance here. But look at Ward Burton coming on. Ward Burton is also just chewing up his feet, closing on Earnhardt. These 2 kids cut their teeth at South Boston, Virginia, where Dennis Setzer won his first Grand National race last month. Really giving themselves exactly what they deserve. Great finishes. They're going to see them all the way up at the top, and them to come. They're going to win in Winston Cup racing for years into the future. Kid real move. They started out in Clark. The number 8, Jeff Burton, currently leads in those rookie points. But look at Ward and come on here.
They've won everything they've been in. Two great races. And it's amazing that here they are racing together. Both of them made Winston after being in the Winston Open. So that was a pretty good indicator right there of what kind of talent they are.
I believe their dad was up on the roof watching. I'm not sure how he takes his allegiances down between these 2. I bet it's right down the middle.
Well, started off on the roof. I hope he's still up there. I know he's excited.
May have jumped off by now.
I gave Ward a tip or 2 this morning to do to his car. I hope he did that. Great run for him. I was kind of worried about him in the tire situation.
Ward Burton clearing ground, closing on Earnhardt for 5th position. Here's Rick Ryder. Still stays there in 7th, and Nemechek's showing some smoke. Got Edric, number 4, might be won that Meineke car. Getting a rundown after 71 of 200 laps complete, back through the field, 171.
I'd say in about 1 more lap, the S8 cars will get the 2.
He's pushing it down. Here you are for 2nd place. Motors scattered. Mark Martin blows up in the main straightaway big time.
Maybe the gauge wasn't bad.
We talked about that 30 pounds of oil pressure earlier. And all of a sudden, The engine on 31 is scattered down the main straightaway. And they're going to race back. Hope nothing came through the pan on that one.
No caution yet. They're trying to see if he can make it.
No caution shown around the racetrack. Big explosion out of the rush. Car number 6.
Let's see if he
Apparently
turns.
no caution will be shown.
Yeah, let's see if he turns in the backside. Right now, they got just enough laps left for Rusty to really give Jeff a fit if they stop and get cars.
Coming around to complete 175 this time. Bodine well in front. Jeff Burton in second, and there's Rusty Wallace in third. And pulling the car right off the racetrack is number 6, Mark Martin. It expired. It's gone. Let's take a replay at the end of Mark Martin's day.
All right, here he comes off last corner. He went right there. And a good move by Mark, trying to get down out of the way.
Earnhardt and Ward Burton. Luckily, they were down on there on the bottom. That move by Martin saved them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Mark did have he had a great run going.
Well, we're trying to get a word, Mark Martin, but that is unfortunate, and his luck continues to roll those deuces and 12s. Got to turn around to him. Certainly gave a good run today and was right up here among the leaders until it went away. Mark Martin on 176 complete here this afternoon in the Miller Genuine Drag 500.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by STB, Super Concentrated Fuel Injector Cleaner, STB, drive a better car, and by UAW and GM, people working together.
We're back at Pocono. It looks like Ward Burton's just worked his way by Dale Earnhardt for the 4th position. That rookie's giving it a good run today. His brother, they're doing a heck of a job.
Indeed, Chuck Bennett. Those guys are just phenomenal out here. 179 complete. Coming back to the line.
Rusty's got a problem.
Rusty Wallace looks like he's in trouble. The car number 2 going to turn number 1. Maybe and is slowing down. Rusty Wallace eases onto the board. And there's Walter Burton skidding around him and leaving him there.
That's the history of this racetrack. The last 100 miles is brutal.
So Rusty Wallace looking to win number 36. Shifts up. And it looks like the day finished. Wallace engine going off on car number 2. And Hoosier shod cars are now running 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th out here. They're all Hoosier cars. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, races on radio right now. Let's see what he does. It may have broken a valve spring or something because he did shift the car up. It's not totally broken yet.
Was second to Lacey, still out there at a fair amount of speed, but it's not at race speed. And the Burton brothers, Jeff and Ward, are 2nd and 3rd. Nemechek comes to 4th. Earnhardt is 5th, and Russ is 6th. Let's go to Randy.
Well, see if we can get a word with Buddy real quick. Buddy, what happened?
I don't know, something in I don't know, somewhere in the engine somewhere, you know, just not really hitting on all 8 cylinders. But I tell you what, it's the first time we've had a problems all year long, and I'm really proud of David Evans and all the guys. I know they're hard broken, but so are we. Ernie some problems, and the 6 car went up in smoke. And we was hoping we could put this thing in overdrive and finish the race. We were going to have to stop at lap 193 anyway for fuel, and there's a car out there I think can make it all the way, and I hope it's a Ford.
Okay, you know what they're talking about. I don't know if it's a Ford or not, but Ward Burton's team, the 31 Hardy car, I believe, guys, they're going to try and go all the way. That's what the crew chief just told me a few moments ago. He said, we're going to try it. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Ward Burton, number 31, is in 3rd spot. There's your lead to Jeff Bodine. Jeff Burton is in 2nd. Ward Burton is in 3rd. Joe Nemechek is in 4th. And you're taking a look at the interval on the racetrack here among these leaders. Jeff Burton in number 8 coming through 2nd. Then Ward Burton in 3rd. You have Hoosiers 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is Ward Burton. Nemechek right with him. Leader pulling away, but remember, he will be coming in. Jeff Bodine said he will definitely stop for fuel. It is in 6th position. Rusty Wallace falling back to 7th. Shepard 8. Sterling Marlin a lap down in 9th. Bob Avanti 10th. Jeff Burton 11th. Todd Bodine 12th. Dale Jarrett. Michael Waltrip 14th. Bill Elliott 15th. Wally Dallenbach 16th. Terry Labonte. Lloyd Allen in 18th. Eric Cope In the 2 right today, the T.W. Taylor car, the 19th, and Jerry Mayfield is 20th. 182. So right around lap 190 through 194, we may see a little more activity on pit road. Just in there to top those tanks and send them on the way. Remember the ones who came in and topped off their tanks. Were Nemechek in the 41, the 31 of Will Burton right here, 13 cents down the leader. Car number 21, Nathan Shepard. 43, Dallenbach is already on pit road, running in 16th position.
Yeah, that's unscheduled, I would say. I don't think Ward can make it. It's just, I don't know, he's got a Hutter engine car in that car. It's awfully strong unless he's backing off and saving fuel. He's not doing that. He's got to drive away from Joe Nemechek right now.
A couple of scores coming in here this afternoon. In the World Cup at the half, Italy and Brazil deadlocked. And in Major League Baseball, the Braves pull it off, beat the Marlins 2-1. America's team keeps on chugging. Jeff Bodine. There you see Earnhardt for 3. You recall that he's in 5th position. Ricky Rudd, number 10, is in the 6th spot. Right behind them is Loy Allen. And Loy Allen's car is a letdown, being shown in 18th position.
Morgan's laying back there. You know, he won the race last spring in Atlanta on mileage, so that might be a possibility. As you said, Ken, he was one of the cars that came in.
So he may be trying to stretch it. Let's get the story from the man himself as to what happened to Mark Martin.
Well, we're standing here with Mark. Mark really had a really great run going today. It looks like you had motor problems. He now rusty. Is it just the last 100 miles were really brutal?
I don't know. We never have any problem with that valve. We broke it today. Felt like we had the class field in class anyway. They had us beat pretty bad on tires, but you know, our car really ran good. We had a good motor and good car. And most of the day we're leading our pack anyway.
Well, Mark Martin's always tough, but he couldn't finish us today. Looks like all of the top competitors are having some problems.
And particularly falling in those good guys. They're having some problems out here at the end of the race. Wallace off his speed and leave Mark Martin out of it.
They're running with their tongues hanging out today. They have to keep up with the Hoosiers. Got to take the hat off to Bob Newton and they didn't give up. They're in here digging, and that's a start, you know, just a little bit past the midway point as for what kind of second half they could have.
And
here's the 8.
Send a note. The car is coming in. 8 car is on pit road. Second place car, Jeff Burton. Dick Berggren standing by. This is at 185. Burton is in.
Well, their strategy is going to be to take 2 tires. They're going to do the outside tires in this car. Bodine is trying to do the out-taking tires. That was the strategy about a minute ago. We'll see what happens now when they watch Burton. 10.29 seconds on Burton. Good stop.
Good stop.
First of the leaders in. Burton back to speed, coming up 65 miles an hour on pit road in the Stavola brothers car. Remember that great win of Bobby Hillin? I think a lot of people forget that Bobby Allison won Stavola back in the mid-'80s. Bobby Allison at Talladega with a great ride.
He was a little bit early. He may not have been happy with the car. That's probably an indication there for putting the tires on. I doubt if you'll see Jeff putting me on, or anybody else. Maybe just your cars.
The point standings are going to get absolutely shattered today. The guy that was pointing in points, Irvin is out. The guy in 3rd, Wallace struggling. The guy that's in 4th in point, Mark Martin, he's out of it. Schrader, who's 5th in points, he's out of it. This means Earnhardt puts himself a big point lead. Stay out here and stay out until these last lap, continuing to run in 4th position.
Good race right there with Burton and Nemechek. Dale's hanging there at 5th.
And Mickey Rudd is willing to just draft off the back number 3 as this gets down to conclusion.
Yeah.
I wonder if that means that he is thinking about trying to go all the way.
Well, they're beat right now. That's the only option these guys have if they aren't in Hoosier tires.
The crew told us no, but we've been told that before. Tough drafts. He's trying to save as much fuel as he can. Coming up to complete 188. We're being told that we're going to see Jeff Bodine and the leader on lap 191. Road for that final tank topper. Here comes Rudd. I think Earnhardt waved him on by.
Yeah, Dale got us all at that corner, and Ricky capitalized on it. Here comes Charlie. Never gives up.
Loyal staying right in the picture. Remember, a lap out. 16 and some 10 seconds is the difference between first and second at the present time. We're trying to get a clocking to this car number 10 between Jeff Bodine front and back. The difference between Bodine and Burstein is 16 plus seconds. Complete rundown at 186 of 200 laps. The Stavola car number 8 has come back out again. Long time in between wins for the Stavolas to go back to the 80s when they won with Bobby Allison at the home of 400 and 500 in the late 80s with 87, 88. Grabbing with Bob Helen. The big sensation on Lieutenant Talladega getting 26 with Bobby.
Well, they're all back there now. Allen just got out.
Riding with Jeff Bodine. Has the field covered by 67 seconds. When he comes by this time, and remaining to be run, 1.5 miles. Here at Pocono, Pennsylvania.
I'll tell you, Billy English and the side crew took snicker on us about whether or not they try it. But, I don't think that they can afford to try it because they're running either 7th and 4th right now, already 30 behind Morgan Shepherd in 6th, and about 107 behind Schrader in 5th. If they run out of gas going over the finish line, they stand a chance to lose, maybe as much as 15, 20, 30 points.
The leader is on pit road. Leader is coming in. Here's Bodine on that stop. Locks Dick Berggren there.
Peter Gell and Ashman has put in about 2 seconds worth, no gas, no tires. Bob Snooten was here, and he played a role in that decision. He said no tires, no tires. Paul Andrews, that's it. That's what we're going to do. That's what they did.
2-3 and 2/10 seconds. Earnhardt comes in. 3.2 on Bodine stop. The leader. Earnhardt on pit road.
And now, Brady, you want to break that pit road speed, but you just can't do it.
Yeah, that's the cost you.
With 10 laps remaining, they went ahead and changed 2 right side tires because they need that much time as far as fuel is concerned. Right side's on. Hope they got enough to finish.
9 seconds on that pit stop. 8.9, and Earnhardt comes back out with number 3. I understand there are 3 serious electrical storms that may be creating problems with our picture that's coming out of Atlanta. We're told there are some serious electrical storm problems at this time that may be affecting the picture. So Earnhardt is back. This pushes Ward Burton, number 31, up into the lead. Moves Nemechek into 2nd. Doc Bodine came out 3rd. 4th is Rudd. 5th is Shepherd. Now, one of those cars is the dog in the range. They're going to definitely try to go the distance.
Well, that's why I brought up Morgan Shepherd earlier. We need to see what those guys are up to because he's been lagging back.
Well, it's going to be interesting here. Bodine had an extremely fast pit stop, but the deal is, with that pit road speed limit, it takes a long time to get down pit road and back out on those tracks. So I think it's going to be too far behind if Burton's lucky enough to make it. But I tell you, that's really stretching that fuel mileage. I just don't see how it could be done. But watch what happens.
Seen some amazing things before. Harry Gantz amazes from time to time. Darrell Waltrip's done it a few times.
Yeah, last November at Atlanta, we went 118 miles, and it amazed me. I know that.
Trying to check that interval right now between Jeff Bodine and Ricky Rudd. It's 4 and 8/10 seconds, the difference between Bodine in 3rd place and Ricky Rudd in 4th. Bodine has made his final stop. In the shuffle, Jeff Burton has fallen to 6th. Ward Burton leads Nemechek 2nd. Jeff Bodine 3rd, Ricky Rudd 4th. Morgan Shepherd is in 4th. There's Rodney Bodine in 3rd spot. And The number 8 car of Jeff Burton's is 6. Now the 7 car getting around 40 Nemechek. Up to second. Comes Bodine. There's the 7. Here's your 31. Ward just in front of Ollie Dallenbach, sandwiched in between. Lap complete. 194 when they hit the start-finish line this time by. Leader 31 Ward Burton. Second place Jeff Bodine. That's the chase. Ward Burton out of Scottsburg, Virginia. That's the way he looks to Jeff Bodine. From on top, that's the interval between first and second. On to pit road again. Comes to Rusty Wallace back in 7th spot. Counted out at the hunt. The overall win today. Still out there. Still scoring points heavily. This pit battle continues to remain so dramatic. 7 moving in on 31. Jimmy Spencer dives down to the bottom. 1-3-1 stays in the lead, but here comes Bodine after. Riding with Jeff Bodine as he tries to take command of this race another time. Remember, he won this race. Junior Johnson back in 1990. He's been around the couch a lot of times. Loves the racetrack. The rookie Ward Burt stays in front. And Bodine in second. When they come by, there will be 5 laps to go. Here's Bodine sweeping to the inside.
Yeah, he's quite a bit good when he's working able to get him back down. Ward's car was a little bit loose right there. Now he is in a jam because he doesn't know if he's got enough fuel.
So Jeff Bodine looks like he hasn't covered at this point. Got out faster than anyone else there. Apparently got enough fuel to bring it home. Here's number 10 on pit road. Randy Pemberton waiting right now for the run. 5 laps left, play it out in the Miller Genuine 500.
Well, they're going to take in 3 seconds of fuel. They've already conceded. They're running 4th. There's no way they can win this race, so they might as well make sure that they have. There's 3 seconds and Rudd's gone.
So, unless something untoward happened to car number 7, Jeff Bodine is on his way to his 5th career win. His second win here in this 500 at Pocono, Pennsylvania, as he gets ready for Talladega, Alabama next week. Jeff Bodine looks at the pole, who has dominated the event, staying in first. And Ward hang on to him for a second place finish.
Yeah, Ward's got to be thinking save gas right now. You know, take what I can get. I'm a beat man right now. I'm ahead of the 3rd car, but I guarantee you he's not the fuel pressure gauge and telling him to do every lap.
Barry, that's absolutely the question. You know, I was wondering if once Jeff passed him, he would not decide to pit, considering he could not win the race at that point. Go ahead and pit, make he didn't run on a fuel and end up finishing 10th. But it's not the case. Ward's out there. They told him, do not race Jeff Bodine. Let's try and ride this thing out and see if we can finish second. So they're going to gamble even for second.
Looking for his Winston Cup career finish. 4 Busch Grand National wins. Ward Burton, Scott, Virginia driver. 32 years old, staying right there in second. Nemechek to 3rd. What a day he's having for the Hedrick team. Jeff Burton up to 4th. Morgan Shepherd lies 5th.
I bet these laps are long for Ward. They're on 3, but that's 3 minutes. A lot of people don't realize that. That's a long time running.
Russ Wallace now shown a lap down in 8th position. Morgan Shepherd about to put a lap down. Battle further back in the field, this for 15th. There you see the Pinzo car of Michael Walden that started in the last row today. He and Cherry Bonnie now fighting it out for 15th spot in the final moments. Back front with Bodine. Come by and a big 2-lap indicator on the field for Jeff Bodine as he hits the side. And Ward Burton stays with him. That be something for a rookie to get himself a second place finisher. Hoosier cars now run first, second, third, and with Jeff Burton, fourth. He breaks down as a Ford first, Chevrolet of Ward Burton in second, Nemechek Chevy in third, and the Ford of Jeff Burton in fourth. Ward Burton holding on to the second spot.
He's backing off either. He's not that far from Jeff.
Well, there you see that interval. And now Jeff Bodine lengthens it a little as he heads for the white flag. It's been a nail-biter here at the finish of the Miller Genuine Draft 500 from Pocono, Pennsylvania today. About lap 15 for battle. And look at that, still at it. White flag is out as Labonte gives everything he's got in his fight with Michael Waltrip. Gets in between now. Looks to me like Jeff Bodine's willing to stay right there. It'll get a little bit of a hitch. No, looks inside, focus back out at that tunnel turn.
He's happy there now. He's real happy. So is Ward.
Takes a shot in that straightaway, leading to turn 3. Goes underneath. Mike Waltrip. They can see their war half a lap for that 15th position. But it's Jeff Bodine who's going to write the story here today. 15th career win is happening right away. Down this 3,700 footer he comes. And Jeff Bodine is going to win again. Another guy with his own team has pulled it off. The Allied Batteries, car number 7, has won the 500 at Pocono, Pennsylvania, before a record crowd this afternoon. And Ward Burton, a rookie onto the Winston Cup Tour, is going to come home second, 1/2 of a second behind. You'll meet the winner, Bodine, in a moment.
Welcome back to Pocono International Raceway. The Miller Genuine Draft 500 complete. Jeff Bodine wins his first Point Ping Winston Cup event of the year. We'll talk with him in Victory Lane in a moment. One of the things we want to tell you about Liquid Wrench slickest move goes to the Ward Burton team today. They stayed out. They elected to ride it out, not pit. They get a second place. Their best finish in Ward's rookie season. The Advanced Auto Parts pit's done quick though today. Close to the race when Jeff Bodine, that last fuel stop, less than 3 seconds on pit, giving Jeff a chance to get back out there and win today at Miller Genuine Draft 500. He is in Victory Lane now with our Dick Bergman.
Well, Jeff Bodine has just jumped on the roof in the car and then kissed Bob Newton. What's it feel like to be a winning car owner and driver?
I wish Kathy was here. That's what I feel like. You came to the wrong race. She was at the first race. You should have came here. I love you. We'll be home tonight. We're going to celebrate. Bye. I'm getting here. This is a team effort, I tell you. The side team, Bob Newton, Hoosier. You know, he's been criticized all year long for getting back in a Winston Cup racing. Said he couldn't do it. Hey, we did it, didn't we?
They think you're ready for a retirement. What did you have to say?
How bad did you not want to make that last pit stop and just stay out there?
Well, we knew we couldn't stay out. We had to get gas, so I had to come in. But we were far enough ahead, and they had a quick stop, a little gas, and go. I cut Ward and just sat there and said fuel. But hey, this is a great day for Rexside, Montgomery Auto Express, Nampa. Hey, you know, you can buy these good Hoosier street tires in Auto Express, just like we were saying today.
And this is pandemonium down here at Victory Lane with Jeff Bodine.
From the Purolator's winner circles today. 4 finishers, all on Hoosier here. Earnhardt, leading Winston Cup standings by 93 points over Ernie Irvin after this exciting and dramatic Miller Genuine Draft 500. Back with more of the story from Pocono in a moment.
The Miller Genuine Draft 500 is brought to you by Texaco. Add more life to your car. By Allied Signals brand filters. Pay a little now or a lot later. By Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By McDonald's, official restaurant of World Cup USA 94. And by MasterCard, official sponsor of the 1994 World Cup.
At Pocono, Pennsylvania, today was won by Jeff Bodine in his own car. Coming in second as we look at how they finished. Burton, the A.G. Dillard car. And new chief mechanic there, Phil Lopez, did a great job. And Nemechek came home third. Burton, Morgan Shepherd, Ricky Rudd in that top 6 today. As we take a look a little further back, Earnhardt concludes in 7th, Jeff Gordon in 8th, Rusty Wallace 9th, Dale Jarrett, Todd Bodine, Sterling Marlin finishing in 12th. And it was Bobby Labonte for 13th. Michael Waltrip wound up 14th, Terry Labonte 15th, and then Wally Dallenbach as we look at these unofficial results. Derek Cope with his new ride came home in 19th today. Jimmy Spencer wound up today with a good run. Ron Andretti 25th on the afternoon. Kyle Petty only 27th. And looking further down, some of the cars that expired or had trouble early in the going, or midway in the going, with so many cars pushing. Taking a look at the point standings, as we mentioned, 93 points. Right now, Earnhardt from Irvin Wallace third. He is closing on those. Mark Martin in there, Morgan Shepard. Ken Schrader drops his spot today, back into 6th position in those NASCAR Winston Cup point standings as they get ready for Talladega, Alabama, next Sunday afternoon. I want to thank everyone who helped us so much out here today in this broadcast. Dick Berggren down on pit road. Good job, Doctor. And Randy Pemberton again was with us. Nicely done. Kenny Wallace, back from the throes of South Boston last night. You were looking good. And at the STP Pit Center this afternoon, Rick Benjamin and dear friend Chuck Bound, Western champ. Hope you get well real soon and get back on the racetrack. And to Bill Dotson, our thanks. Spent some time up here and explaining it from Chief Wrench's side as to what goes on and out here in a Winston Cup race. Thank you for being with us today. Don't forget Richmond, Virginia in September here on TBS. Jeff Bodine victorious this afternoon in the Miller Genuine Draft 500. Good afternoon from Pocono. I'm Ken Squire.